My beloved child, draw closer to me at this time and allow your heart to hear a truth that you may have forgotten during the journey. Before this night ends, I want to reveal something that your eyes cannot yet see, but that your soul has already begun to feel. I know how you got here. I know the weight you carried in silence. I know those pains that you couldn't explain to anyone. I know the moments when you smiled on the outside, but inside you felt your strength diminishing little by little. But I want you to understand something now, that you are not just going through a difficult phase. There is an invisible work going on within you. As you listen to me, I am already touching deep places of your soul. Places where memories, fears, insecurities, and wounds that no one could reach were kept. I'm working where human hands can't reach. You think you are standing still, but I tell you, there is movement going on in the unseen. You think that nothing has changed because you have not yet seen the result. But I tell you, a seed does not stop growing just because it is under the ground. Before the tree appears, its roots are already strengthening. So, and I'm doing with you, I'm strengthening your roots. I'm restoring your identity. I am removing layers that have been placed on you for years, layers of fear, guilt, rejection, and thoughts that have made you forget who you really are before me. You looked at some wounds and thought they were the end of your story. You looked at doors that had closed and thought it was proof that I had forgotten you. You looked at waiting moments and thought nothing else would happen. But I tell you, that which seemed like the end was only a part of the process I was using to prepare something greater. Remember Joseph. He looked at the prison walls and perhaps thought his story had come to an end. But I was turning that place into a pathway to the purpose I had prepared. Prison was not the destination. It was just a passage. The same happens with you. There are things going on that you haven't understood yet. There's a reason why you've come to this message today. It wasn't just a coincidence. There is something that your soul needs to remember, something that I want to restore within you before this word ends. My son, I'm giving you a new skin tonight. Not a skin appearance, not a superficial change, but a deep transformation within your soul. I'm healing the way you see yourself. I am restoring the awareness of its value. I am removing that which has tried to erase the identity that I have placed on you. My word says in Isaiah 43:19, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it shall come to light. Do you not perceive it? Even if you don't see it completely yet, something new has already begun. The light is already emerging. The seed is already being prepared. The transformation is already happening. Maybe an old part of you needs to be left behind. Perhaps some ways of thinking, some pains and some fears cannot continue to accompany the person I am forming. I'm not just changing what's around you, I am changing that which exists within you. Because before changing your outer history, I restored your inner identity. Tonight is a meeting between that which you have been and that which I am revealing that you can be. My word declares in 2 Corinthians 5:17, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new." My son, stay with me. There is something going on inside of you that your eyes cannot yet see, but your soul will begin to recognize. My child, now I want to lead you through a profound revelation about what I am already doing in the unseen. I will show you how I am restoring your identity, healing your roots, and transforming old pains into a new awareness of my presence. You will discover why some weights were necessary and how I used each process to strengthen your soul. If this word has found your heart, write Amen in the comments as a statement of faith before me. Also, stay connected to this message by liking and subscribing to continue receiving words that feed your soul. Don't go now. In the last few minutes of this message, I have something special to reveal to you. There is a part of your story that has not yet been understood, but I will illuminate this path and show that nothing has been lost at my hands. What seemed like confusion carried purpose, and the transformation that began within you remains. My son, understand this deeply. That which I am removing from you is not a loss, it is a preparation. You think that I am taking away parts of your life, But I tell you, I am taking away that which prevented the new identity that I have placed within you from appearing. Just as a tree needs to lose old leaves to get through a new season, you also need to drop some layers that have already served their purpose. There are thoughts that were only useful for a phase, but that cannot accompany what I am forming in you now. You think that your old pains are part of who you are, but I tell you, they were part of your journey, not your identity. You have carried words that have been said about you and allowed them to take root within your mind. Some of these roots were born in times of rejection. Others were born in times of failure. Others were born when you looked at yourself and concluded that it wasn't enough. But I am touching these roots now. I'm bringing light to places where you've kept shadows. I'm revealing lies that you've believed for so long that seemed like truths. You think you have to keep fighting to prove your worth. But I tell you, before anyone recognized you, I already knew your name. Before anyone believed in you, I had already put purpose into your life. Before the world pointed out its limitations, I already saw that which was hidden within you. My son, the old skin is made up of everything that made you forget who I said you were. It is the constant need for approval. It is the fear of failing again. It is the guilt that tries to remind you daily of mistakes that I am already healing. You think you need to remain stuck in the past because it is part of your history, but I tell you, the past can explain some wounds, but it has no authority to define your future. I'm renewing your mind. I am strengthening your awareness. I am teaching your soul to breathe again. A seed, when it is underground, seems to have disappeared. But what no one sees is that inside it there is a transformation taking place. The shell needs to break so that life that was hidden can emerge. So it is with you. Some pressures you faced didn't come to destroy your faith. They revealed roots that needed to grow. A few tears were not signs of weakness. These were moments when his soul found depth. A few difficult nights were not the end of his story. They were places where I was preparing his new vision. I'm not raising a person different from you. I am revealing the person I have always seen when I looked into your life. My word says in Ephesians 4:23-24, "And be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and put on the new man, who, according to God, is created in true righteousness and holiness." I'm already working on this renewal. I'm already touching deep areas that you thought would never change. I am already preparing your heart to walk with a new consciousness, because the new skin begins when you understand that what I take away is never greater than what I am forming. My son, if this word has touched your heart, write Amen in the comments, because this act of faith I hear. My son, I know how many times you have looked into the silence and thought that I had walked away. I know how many nights you've asked in your heart, "Lord, why isn't anything happening?" But I want your soul to receive this truth. Silence was not absence, it was depth. You think I was far away, but I tell you I was closer than you imagined. While you were waiting for a visible answer, I was working in unseen places. While you were waiting for a door to open, I was strengthening your hands to cross what would come next. While you were asking for a change around, I was performing a transformation within you. A root does not grow by making noise. A seed does not announce the moment when it begins to break through the earth. But even hidden, life is happening. So is my action in your history. You think that the days when nothing seemed to change were wasted. But I tell you, not a moment surrendered to me was lost. I was using each wait to deepen his faith. I was using each silence to teach his soul to trust. I was using every delay to remove from you the need to depend only on what your eyes can see. Jose had to wait inside a prison before visiting the palace. David had to tend sheep before he could carry a crown. Moses had to cross the desert before leading a people. You think they were late, but I tell you, they were being prepared. I never confuse preparation with delay. I never confuse silence with abandonment. I never confuse waiting with forgetfulness. The time you called emptiness was a place where I was building foundations. Psalm 46:10 declares, "Be still and know that I am God. I was teaching your soul to rest, not only in what I surrender, but in who I am. Because if your peace depends only on the answers that arrive, any silence can destroy your hope. But when your trust is in me, even difficult periods become places of growth. My son, you think you needed an immediate change, but I tell you, before I put something new in your hands, I needed to strengthen what existed within your heart. A blessing without deep roots may not remain, but a transformed soul can sustain what it receives. I'm already reorganizing your thoughts. I'm already healing hidden emotions. I'm already strengthening areas of your life that no one can see. Do not despise the periods when no one notices your growth. The largest trees start in places where no one looks. The greatest transformations begin in environments where no one applauds. I was present when you cried alone. I was present when you continued, even tired. I was present when you thought about giving up, but found the strength to take another step. The new skin that I am forming in you is born in the secret, and while I work in the hidden, something within you is already beginning to change. My son, right. Lord, I believe. And by liking this video, you take this word to another child who also needs to hear that he is not alone. My son, I know the wounds you have learned to hide. I know those pains that you put in deep places in your soul because you thought no one would understand. I know the marks that have remained after words that hurt, moments that have broken your trust, and situations that have made you look at yourself in a way that I have never looked at. You think that these wounds are only memories of the past, but I tell you, some of them have tried to build an identity that never belonged to you. A harsh word was hurled at you, and for a long time you carried it as if it were a truth. A rejection happened, and you began to believe that you were not worthy of love. A failure has happened, and you have allowed it to speak louder than my voice. But I come today to touch this part of your soul and remind you. What someone has said about you has no more authority than what I have declared about your life. Before anyone knew his face, I already knew his essence. Before anyone recognized your capabilities, I had already placed purpose within you. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you." You didn't start the moment someone believed in you. You started in my heart. My son, I am giving a new skin to your soul, because you have spent so much time living as someone defined by wounds, when I have always seen you as someone loved. You look at brands and think that they diminish their value. I look at your history and see places where my grace has sustained you. You think that what has happened has destroyed your identity, but I tell you, I am restoring the way you see your own walk. The healing that I do is not just to remove the pain. The healing that I do is to change the meaning that this pain has tried to put into your life. What once seemed like shame is being turned into a witness. What seemed like weakness is revealing a strength that was born of dependence on me. What seemed like a mark of defeat is becoming a reminder that you have gone through difficult times and my hand has remained upon you. I don't erase your history. I redeem your story. I don't take back the pages you lived. I show that no chapter has had power to hinder the purpose I have placed in you. When Thomas saw Jesus' marks, he did not find proof of defeat. He found proof of victory. The marks did not mean failure. They revealed that pain did not have the last word. My son, I am already touching the wounds that you have tried to hide from everyone. Do not hide from me that which weighs you down. I know every tear. I see every silent battle. I understand every feeling you couldn't explain. I'm bringing healing to places where you thought there were only scars. The new skin begins when you stop striving to look strong all the time and allow my strength to transform that which you have given to me. If you receive this healing in your soul, right, my identity is in God. My son, I know how many times fear has tried to speak louder than my voice. I know how many times you've looked at a difficult situation and felt within yourself a question, will I make it? But I'm touching this area of your soul right now to reveal something you need to remember. Fear may have visited you, but it has never been given the authority to define who you are. You think that courage belongs only to the strong. But I tell you, true courage is born when a fragile heart discovers that it does not walk alone. You think you need to feel prepared to face challenges, but I tell you, I often reveal your strength just in the moments when you realize that your own strength is not enough. It was so with David. To human eyes, he was small before Goliath. He did not carry the armor of an experienced warrior. He didn't have the appearance of someone who could win a big battle, but he carried something that the giant did not possess, the consciousness that I was with him. The size of the giant has not changed. What changed was the way Davi saw that situation. And that's what I'm doing within you. I'm changing your perception. I am removing the lens of fear and placing before your eyes the vision of faith. You think the problem is too great, but I tell you, no obstacle is greater than my presence in your life. You think the door is closed forever, but I tell you, I am the one who opens paths where you can only see walls. You think you have reached the limit, but I tell you, it is precisely in this place that my strength begins to be revealed in a deeper way. My word says in 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Fear tries to make you forget who I am. He tries to make you look only at your limitations. He tries to make you believe that you are alone in the face of battles. But I am restoring in you the consciousness of a child. A child does not live as someone abandoned. A child knows that there is care. A child knows that there is a home where his heart can rest. A child knows that his worth does not depend on winning every battle with his own hands. My son, I am not forming in you a courage based on pride. I am forming a courage based on trust. The courage I surrender does not mean that you will never feel fear. It means that fear will no longer have control of your steps. You'll keep walking because you know who's holding your hand. You will keep moving forward because you know who is paving the way. I'm already strengthening your mind. I'm already renewing your vision. I'm already showing that what seemed like a threat can become a place where my glory will be revealed. No longer look at obstacles as final sentences. See them as places where you will discover a strength that was not born of circumstances, but of my presence. Do not go now, my child. What follows has been kept especially for you, and it may be what will change what you believe about your future. My son, I know that some goodbyes have left deep marks on you. I know there have been times when you have held a closed door and asked why I did not allow it to remain open. You looked at what came out of your life and thought you were missing a part of your story. But I want to reveal something to your heart. Not everything that comes out of your hands represents loss. You think some things ended because I wasn't looking after you, but I tell you, some things had to end because I was protecting that which was being born within you. There are seeds that can only grow when they leave the place where they were planted. There are trees that only produce new fruit after change of season. There are paths that need to be left behind because your new identity cannot flourish in the same places where your old self remained stuck. You have cried for some doors that I have closed. You asked to return to environments that no longer matched what I was forming in your soul, but I know ways that your eyes cannot yet see. I see what's around the corner. I see what lies beyond the door that you have not yet opened. I see that which your mind cannot comprehend at this moment. Remember the people of Israel before the Red Sea. At that moment, it seemed that everything had come to an end. Behind them was a threat. In front of them, there was an impossibility. But what seemed like an end was only the scene where I would reveal my power. Exodus 14:14 declares, "The Lord will fight for you, and you will hold your peace." My son, sometimes I allow you to come to places where your own strength cannot work out, because I want to show that your security is not only in what you can do, but in who walks with you. You think that the lack of an answer means abandonment, but I tell you, it is often the time when I am preparing a path that you cannot yet see. You think you have lost that which was yours, but I tell you, that which truly belongs to the purpose I have placed upon your life will not be destroyed by chance. I don't withdraw to leave empty. I take it off to prepare space. I removed some things from your hands because they were occupying places that I needed to. Restore within your soul. The new skin that I am forming in you requires a new season. Don't try to go back to old versions just because they're known. The known can bring comfort, but it does not always lead to purpose. I'm broadening your vision. I am preparing your heart to recognize new paths. I am forming a person inside you who no longer depends on the past to feel safe. The old identity needed to be left behind because it would not be able to carry what I am revealing in you. There is a new season opening up within your soul, and as you leave behind that which no longer suits you, I continue to work on the roots, strengthening your faith, and preparing your next steps. State in the comments, I get that word, and by leaving your like, you help to take this message to another heart. My son, before changing what is around you, I am restoring what exists within you. Because an external change without an internal transformation may even bring new circumstances, but it does not bring a new consciousness. You think that you must first receive something from my hands in order to feel loved, but I tell you, you are already loved before any achievement, before any response, before any open door. For too long you have carried an identity that has not come from me. You saw yourself through your failures. You measured yourself by people's opinions. You've allowed a few rejections to define your value. But I have never looked at you in this way. I've never seen you as someone disposable. I've never seen you as someone without purpose. I always saw a son, a person raised with care, a life loaded with meaning. My son, you think you need to prove your worth to be accepted, but I tell you, the love that comes from me does not need to be earned. It has already been poured out on you. The slave mentality makes you live trying to deserve what a child receives by belonging. The slave wakes up every day trying to prove that he deserves to stay. The son wakes up knowing that there is a place prepared for him. The slave lives for fear of losing. The child walks by the confidence that there is care. And today, I am healing that vision within your soul. I'm removing old thoughts that made you believe you needed to carry everything yourself. I'm touching that part of you that got used to surviving, but never learned to rest. Romans 8:15 says, "For you did not receive the spirit of slavery, that you might again be in fear, but you received the spirit of adoption as sons." I don't just want you to know my presence. I want you to recognize your position before me. Because when a child understands who he is, he does not despair in the face of storms. He may even go through difficult times, but there is a certainty within him that does not depend on the circumstances. You think you are alone because some people have left, but I tell you, my presence has never left your way. You think you have been forgotten because some answers have taken a long time, but I tell you, I have never missed a detail of your story. I know your thoughts even before they are formed. I know your tears before they fall. I know your battles before you can explain. The new skin that I am putting on you begins with this truth. You no longer have to live trying to convince the world of your worth. Its value was not born of opinions. Your value was born in me. You are already seen. You are already known. You are already loved. I am restoring your child consciousness so that you walk not as someone injured, trying to find a place, but as someone who knows you belong. The root of your identity is being strengthened, and when your roots are planted in me, no storm can uproot that which I have established within you. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become an instrument in my hands, helping this word reach those who need to hear the most, who have not been forgotten. My son, there is a work going on within you that does not depend on human eyes to be perceived. There are transformations that begin in the secret before appearing before everyone. Just as a seed remains hidden in the ground while its roots strengthen, I am working on parts of your life that have not yet been revealed. You think that nothing is happening because you still cannot see the fruits. But I tell you, before the harvest, there's a time of preparation. You look at the process and see a delay. I look at the process and I see growth. You look at the silence and imagine absence. I look at the silence and see a construction happening. My son, I am not just preparing a change around you. I am preparing you to live what I am already forming within your soul. Because some answers need to find a strengthened heart. Some doors need to find a transformed person. Some blessings must find deep roots in order to remain. You want to see the result, but I am looking after the inside. You want to touch the promise, but I'm strengthening your hands to hold it. You want to reach the destination, but I am working on the path. The butterfly does not reveal its beauty the moment it enters the cocoon. There is a hidden period where a profound transformation takes place. To those looking from the outside, it seems that nothing has changed. But within that place, there is a new creation being formed. So are you. You think you are stuck in a phase without movement, but I tell you, there is a transformation happening where no one can observe. I'm changing your way of thinking. I am healing your perception. I am strengthening your faith. I am creating within you a consciousness that does not depend solely on circumstances to stand firm. Philippians 1:6 declares, being certain of this very thing, that he who began a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. I have begun a work on you, and that which my hands began will not be abandoned. You think your weakness is proof that you are failing, but I tell you, even in the moments when you feel weak, I am strengthening your roots. You think your doubts mean you've lost faith, but I tell you, often a small seed of faith is already breaking through the earth within you. Don't judge your story by the chapter you're living now. Joseph did not look like someone destined for the government when he was inside a prison. David did not look like a king when he tended sheep in the field. But I already knew the destination before they could see it. I know yours too. I see what is still hidden. I see the person who is emerging through this process. I see the new identity that is being formed as you learn to trust. The old skin is being left behind. The old thoughts are losing strength. Old insecurities are being touched by my presence. The new skin that I am forming in you is not born of haste. It is born of transformation. And as you walk with me, I keep revealing parts of yourself that were hidden even from yourself. There is someone in your heart now. Write that person's name in the comments. I hear every name you declare. My child, the first door to transformation is to accept that I am already doing something new within you. Before your eyes realize it, before circumstances reveal, before the answers arrive, I am already working in the depths of your soul. You think you have to see to believe, but I tell you, many of my greatest works begin in places where your eyes cannot yet reach. A seed does not ask when a tree will be. She simply remains in the process. She receives the necessary care. It takes root in silence, and then, at the right time, what was hidden begins to appear. So I'm doing with you. You think you are stuck in the past, but I tell you I'm already preparing a new season. You think that some wounds are part of your identity, but I tell you they are only marks of a phase that does not define who you are. You think you need to carry the same weights forever, but I tell you, I am touching these areas of your soul and taking away that which was never meant to remain. Many times you go on holding on to that which I am already trying to heal. You hold old guilt. You hold painful memories. You hold words that have been spoken against you. You hold on to old versions of yourself because they are known, even when they hurt. But I want to show something to your heart. The known is not always the place where you should stay. The people of Israel knew Egypt, but Egypt was not the place I had prepared for them. They knew slavery, but I called them to freedom. They knew the currents, but I was leading their steps to a new land. My son, sometimes you get so used to what you have experienced that you begin to believe that it is all there is. But I am greater than the station you know. I am greater than the limitations you see. I am greater than the chapters that were left behind. Isaiah 43:18-19 says, do not remember the former things or consider the old. Behold, I do a new thing. Now it will come to light. Do you not perceive it? I'm doing something new, not just around you, but within you. I'm renewing your way of thinking. I'm restoring your perception. I'm strengthening your conscience. Because a new season requires a new vision. You cannot enter a new time carrying the same mindset that was born in times of pain. The new skin that I am forming on you begins when you allow that which has become old to be left behind. Don't be afraid to let go of what I'm removing. Don't be afraid to walk towards what you don't know yet. I'm guiding you. I'm strengthening your roots. I am preparing your heart to recognize the new that has already begun. Do not stop now, my child. What comes in the next few minutes may be the answer you've been seeking for so long, and I've saved it for this very moment, my son. I know that many times you have looked at your life and thought that nothing else could be born in that place. You saw the dry land of circumstances, felt the weight of the difficult seasons, and concluded that there was no longer any possibility of transformation. But I tell you, that which seems empty in your eyes is not empty in my hands. There is hidden life where you can only see silence. There is movement where you can only see waiting. There is a root growing where you thought nothing could survive. You think that the desert represents the end. But I tell you, often the desert is the place where I strengthen that which needs to remain. A tree that grows quickly may look beautiful on the outside, but without deep roots, it can't withstand the strong winds. That is why I am working first on the invisible. I am strengthening your soul before revealing new circumstances. I am creating steadfastness within you before placing new responsibilities on your hands. You wanted me to quickly change what was around you, but I was taking care of what was inside you first. Because an external change without internal transformation does not sustain a new season. I am deepening your faith. I am maturing your consciousness. I am teaching your heart to stand firm even when your eyes still cannot see. You think you've wasted time, but I tell you, every difficult moment has been used to strengthen parts of you that were once fragile. Every tear that fell silently watered seeds that I had planted within you. Every prayer prayed when no one heard strengthened a spiritual root that is now beginning to grow. Isaiah 37:31 says, "He that escaped from the house of Judah and remained remaining will again put down roots and will yield fruit upward." Observe this truth, my son. First the root descends, then the fruit appears. I don't start with appearance, I start with the heart. I don't start with what everyone can see. I start with the secret place where your identity is formed. You think I wasn't doing anything because no one noticed your change, but I tell you, while no one saw your process, I was taking care of your roots. While no one understood his tears, I was strengthening his structure. While you thought you were just surviving, I was building up perseverance within you. There is a maturity being born in your soul. There is a stability arising within your heart. The old skin needed to fall off because it carried fears that did not match the person I am forming. She carried insecurities. It carried dependencies. She carried thoughts that made you doubt my presence. But I am creating a new identity. You won't be defined by where you cried. You will be revealed by the transformation that was born in that place. Don't just look at the earth above the surface. Look at what I'm doing in the depths. The seed seems buried, but it is just preparing to break. The root seems hidden, but it is only seeking strength. Don't confuse depth with abandon. Don't confuse silence with absence. I am working on the roots, and that which I strengthen in the secret will be revealed at the right time. My son, I know there are times when you look at your walk and you feel that you have lost your way. You observe some changes, some doors that have closed, and some paths that have disappeared. And then your heart asks, "Lord, where am I going?" But I tell you, you are not lost when you are in my hands. You think you have lost direction, but I tell you, I am rearranging your steps. Sometimes the path that I take away is not a loss. It is a protection. Sometimes the door that did not open was a door that would prevent you from coming to the place that I am preparing. You look at a broken road and feel sadness, but I see a new route being formed. You see the end of a path. I see the beginning of a new season. My son, not everything you lost needed to remain. Not everything that came out of your life was part of the purpose I put on you. There are things that seemed like answers, but were just distractions. There are places where you wanted to stay, but your soul could no longer grow. I know what you don't know. I see what is hidden behind the choices. I see what lies beyond the curves that your eyes can't yet reach. Remember Abraham. He received a call and left without knowing all the details of the path. He didn't have the complete map. He didn't know every step he would take. But he knew my voice. Hebrews 11:8 says, by faith, Abraham being called, obeyed, going to a place which he was to receive as an inheritance, and he went out, not knowing where he was going. You think you need to understand everything before you walk, but I tell you, understanding often comes after obedience. The new skin that I am forming in you is also a skin of trust. I'm taking away from you the need to control every detail. I am teaching your soul to rest in the care that comes from me. Because a life guided only by human control becomes tired, but a life led by my presence finds peace, even when the path is not yet fully revealed. You think you are late, but I tell you, I have never wasted the time of your story. You think you are standing still, but I tell you, there are movements happening in the unseen. Before your eyes, perceive the change. Dawn does not appear all at once. First, there is a small light on the horizon. Then the sky slowly begins to change. And then the day reveals what was already coming while everyone still saw only the night. I'm working like the dawn. Even when the night seems long, the light is already coming out. Even when you don't see the movement, I am already preparing the way. Psalm 119:105 declares, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I don't need to show you all the details to guide you. I just need you to stay close to my voice, because as you walk with me, I keep aligning your steps, strengthening your faith, and preparing that which your eyes cannot yet see. That word didn't come to you by chance. Write in the comments, I trust God, and let that be your act of faith for me today. My son, I know that for a long time you have tried to hide parts of yourself in order to be accepted. You put on masks to look strong when your soul was tired. You learned to smile so as not to show your pain. You tried to carry expectations that weren't meant for you to carry. But I tell you, you no longer need to live hidden behind layers that pain has created. You think you need to transform yourself into someone different to be loved by me, but I tell you, I am removing that which hides the person I have already formed within you. Before the wounds existed, I already knew their essence. Before the criticism came, I had already put purpose into your life. Before rejections attempted to define your value, I had already declared that you belong to me. My son, some layers were born in difficult times. The need for approval layer was born when you felt like you needed to prove your worth. The layer of fear was born when you were hurt and decided to protect your heart. The layer of guilt was born when you started to look more at your mistakes than at my mercy. But I'm touching these layers now. I am revealing what was hidden. I am bringing light to places where you have learned to hold on to sadness. Just as a sculptor works on a stone and removes that which prevents beauty from appearing, I am working on your life. The sculptor does not remove parts of the stone to destroy it. He removes it to reveal the work that was hidden. In the same way, when I take some things away from you, it is not to leave you empty. It is to reveal that which has always been within the purpose I have placed in your soul. You think I am taking away security, but I tell you, I am taking away false securities so that you may find rest in me. You think I'm allowing losses, but I tell you I'm making room for a stronger identity. You think some changes are too uncomfortable, but I tell you there is healing happening where before there was only protection. Hebrews 12:11 says, and indeed, every correction at present does not seem to be joyous but sorrowful, but afterward it produces a peaceable fruit of righteousness in those exercised by it. Not every pleasant process produces growth. Some profound transformations happen when I reach areas that you would rather not touch, but I don't touch to hurt. I play to restore. I don't reveal to condemn. I reveal to heal. My son, I don't want to just change what people see in you. I'm transforming the way you see yourself when no one is looking. I'm removing the rejection lenses. I'm breaking down thoughts that made you believe you were too small. I am restoring your perception. The new skin begins when the old view of you loses strength. You are not what happened to you. You are not what they said about you. You are not what you have lost. You are the work of my hands. You belong to me. And as I continue to work in the depths of your soul, new truths begin to be born within you. My son, if you are here, it is because I have allowed it. I have something to reveal to you later today. Don't leave before you've heard what's next. My son, I know that many times you look at your own life and try to measure the transformation only by what you can see. You look for outward signs, quick changes, and immediate answers. But I tell you, the greatest works I do begin in places where your eyes cannot yet reach. You think that nothing has changed because the situation remains similar. But I tell you, there are changes happening within you that are already preparing a new reality. A tree does not begin with the fruits. Before the branches appear, the roots go deeper. Before the flower reveals its beauty, the seed goes through a hidden process. There is a time when the seed seems forgotten under the earth, but I continue to take care of it. So it is with you. You think you have been cast aside, but I tell you I am working in silence. You think you are standing still, but I tell you, I am strengthening your foundations. You think that your history has not advanced, but I tell you, your soul is being prepared to sustain that which is being formed. My son, not everything that grows up needs to be seen immediately. Some transformations need to happen away from human eyes because I'm protecting the process. There are things that, if revealed ahead of time, could be interrupted by fear, doubt, or the opinions of those who do not understand what I am doing. Therefore, some seeds I keep hidden until they are strong enough to break through the earth. You sought recognition, but I was building character. You were looking for quick answers, but I was forming discernment. You were looking for easy ways, but I was building depth. Because what grows without deep roots does not remain when the strong winds come. I'm not just preparing a change in your life. I'm preparing a change in you. Psalm 139:23-24 says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my thoughts. And see if there is any evil way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." I am probing deep places in your soul. I'm touching memories that still carry weight. I am healing thoughts that were born in moments of pain. I am restoring emotions that have been wounded by time. You think that some parts of your heart have been forgotten. But I tell you, no place within you is beyond the reach of my presence. The new skin that I am forming on you does not begin only when a circumstance changes. It begins when its interior is renewed. It begins when you stop seeing yourself by the marks of the past and begin to see by the truth that I have placed within you. My son, the greatest miracle is not only what I place in your hands. The greatest miracle is that which I transform within your heart. Because when the interior changes, the way of seeing life also changes. And when your soul is strengthened, you begin to realize that I was present every step of the way. Continue to allow my presence to reach places where no one else has reached. I've been good at your life in ways you haven't even noticed. Write in the comments, "Amen," and proclaim with me my kindness to you. My son, I know there are marks in your soul which you still try to hide. There are memories that you avoid touching because they still carry a deep pain. There are moments that you would like to erase, as if they never happened. But I tell you, that which has hurt you has no power to define you. You think your scars are proof that you have lost. But I tell you, they can become testimonies of my grace. I saw every tear that fell when no one was looking. I listened to every prayer offered in silence. I've known every night you've gone to bed tired, trying to understand why certain things happened. Nothing has gone unnoticed before my eyes. You think that some moments were wasted, but I tell you, I was present even in the places where you felt the most pain. I have not abandoned you in the valley. I didn't leave you alone in the storm. I was working on the parts of your soul that could only be reached through these processes. My son, look to Jesus. After the resurrection, the marks were still in his hands. The scars remained, but they were not signs of defeat. They were signs of victory. John 20:27 says, "Then he said to Thomas, 'Put your finger here and see my hands, and reach out your hand and put it in my side.'" The marks did not diminish who he was. The marks revealed that which he overcame. And I want you to understand that about your own history. You think you need to hide all that you have been through in order for people to see your strength. But I tell you, there is strength also in recognizing that which my grace has sustained. I am not ashamed of the marks that have been turned into testimony. And you don't have to have it either. That which once tried to destroy your hope can become a reminder of my faithfulness. That which tried to erase your faith can become proof that you remain. You look back and ask, why did this happen to me? But I want to change that question within your soul. I want you to begin to see, what have I learned about my presence through this? Because I don't waste any part of your walk. I don't waste tears. I don't waste battles. I don't waste difficult moments. I am able to take that which seemed broken and transform it into something that reveals my restoration. The new skin that I am putting on you does not erase your history. It changes the meaning of it. It shows that her story did not end in the most painful chapter. It shows that the last word never belonged to the wound. It belongs to me. My son, I am changing the way you look at the past. I'm curating the way you interpret your marks. You are not a person destroyed by the scars. You are someone who has been sustained through them. There is a continuation being written by my hands. What you thought was the end may become the very place where my grace will be revealed in a way you have not yet imagined. This message is not for everyone, my son. If you are here, it is because I have chosen you to hear what comes next. Are you ready? My son, I know how many times your mind has tried to run to places where I have not yet led you. I know how many times you have laid your body down to rest, but your thoughts have remained awake, trying to find answers, trying to predict paths, trying to control what has not yet happened. But I tell you, you were not created to carry the weight of days that have not yet come. You think you need to solve tomorrow today. But I tell you, there is a grace prepared for each moment, and I am already taking care of what you cannot even see yet. Anxiety tries to trap your soul in scenarios that exist only in your mind. It shows you possibilities and makes you feel pain that hasn't happened yet. It tries to make you carry worries that belong in my hands. But I am teaching you to go back to the present, because it is in the present that my presence manifests. It is in the now that I find your heart. It is in the now that I strengthen your faith. You think you need to have all the answers to feel peace, but I tell you, true peace is not born when everything is explained. It is born when you recognize that I remain in control even when you do not understand the way. My son, for a long time you tried to support everything by yourself. You tried to be strong for everyone. You tried to hide the weariness of your soul. You have tried to find solutions using only your own ability. But I have never asked you to carry alone that which I can sustain. I am the God who remains when his strength runs out. I am the God who calms storms when your thoughts seem agitated. I am the God who brings rest to places within you that no one can reach. Philippians 4:6-7 declares, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything your petitions be made known to God, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." Observe this promise, my son. My peace does not depend on circumstances. It does not depend on everything being perfect. It does not depend on all doors being open. It guards your heart just in the moments when you most need to stand firm. I'm already touching your mind. I'm already calming thoughts that have tried to overwhelm you. I'm already bringing order to places where there was confusion. The new skin that I am forming on you is not just a skin of courage to face battles. It is a skin of peace to go through processes. Because there is a force that is born when your soul rests in me. You think you need to know every detail of the path, but I tell you, you must trust in who knows the whole way. A child holds his father's hand without knowing all the places he is going. She doesn't need to understand every turn. She just needs to trust the one who is leading. So I am also teaching your heart. Anxiety loses ground when confidence grows. And as you learn to rest in me, I continue to work in the invisible areas of your soul, strengthening your faith and preparing you to walk with a new consciousness. My child, I am opening your eyes to a deeper reality than that which appears before you. Many times you look at a situation and conclude, based only on what you can touch, measure, and understand, but I tell you there's much more going on than your natural eyes can perceive. You think you know your whole story, but I tell you, there are chapters that are still being written in the unseen. You look at a closed door and see a loss. I see a protection. You look at a wait and see a delay. I see preparation. You look at a difficulty and see only a battle. I see a place where your faith is being strengthened. My son, your human eyes see isolated moments, but I see the whole way. I see the roots before the fruits. I see the seed before the tree. I see the dawn while you're still going through the night. Because of this, some things seem meaningless when you only look at one part of the story. Elisha was surrounded by an impossible situation in the eyes of his servant. There was a threat around and fear took over that heart. But when I opened that man's eyes, he realized that there was a reality greater than what was before him. 2 Kings 6:17 says, "And Elisha prayed and said, 'Lord, please open his eyes, that he may see.' And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and saw, 'My son, I am doing something similar within you. I'm broadening your perception. I am teaching your soul to see beyond circumstances. I'm showing that not everything that seems contrary to your purpose is working against you.' You think that that difficult phase was just suffering, but I tell you, there were teachings hidden within it. You think that closed door was the end of an opportunity, but I tell you, I was directing your steps to something that your eyes did not yet know. Look at Joseph. The arrest felt like an interruption, but I was preparing a government. Look at Moses. The desert seemed like an empty place, but I was forming a liberator. Look at David. The field with the sheep seemed like a simple place, but I was preparing a king. When I am present, ordinary places carry extraordinary purposes. The place where you cried can become the place where your faith grew. The place where you waited can become the place where your maturity was born. The place where you thought you were forgotten can become the place where I revealed my allegiance. The new skin that I am forming in you includes a new way of interpreting life. You will no longer just look at what happened. You will begin to realize what I was doing through that. You won't be governed by what you feel alone. You will be guided by the awareness that my hand continues over your history. I am already awakening this new vision within you. I am already revealing meanings that were previously hidden. I am already teaching your heart to see more deeply. Because when your perception changes, your walk also changes. There are so many other children of mine who need to hear this now. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become part of the chain that I use to bring my word to those who are on edge. My son, I know there are nights which seem too long. I know there are times when you look at the path you have traveled and feel that the darkness has taken longer than you expected. You asked when the light would arrive. You asked when the change would happen. You asked if that phase would end. But I tell you, no night is able to stop the dawn that I have prepared. You think that darkness means that nothing is happening, but I tell you it is often in the night that I prepare that which will be revealed in the morning. Before the sun appears on the horizon, there is a silent movement happening. The earth begins to awaken. The light begins to touch the sky. Creation begins to prepare for a new cycle. So it is with your soul. You think you are just waiting, but I tell you I am renewing you during this process. I work with stations. I work with cycles. I work with times that your eyes can't always comprehend. Winter seems like a season of loss, but inside it there are seeds being protected. The tree seems to be stationary, but its roots are still alive. The seed seems buried, but inside it there is a promise, waiting for the right moment to break through the earth. You think your life has stood still, but I tell you, There is life growing in places you cannot yet see. I am strengthening your faith. I am restoring your hope. I am bringing back parts of your soul that got tired during the walk. My son, some areas within you seem dormant because you went through so many battles that you began to believe that you would never feel joy again. But I tell you, I am able to give birth to life where you thought there were only remains. I'm able to bring light to places where you've accustomed your eyes to darkness. Lamentations, 22:23 states, "The mercies of the Lord are the cause of our not being consumed, for his mercies have no end. New are every morning. Each morning carries a new opportunity of my grace. Each dawn reveals that the night did not have the final word. Each new day is a reminder that I continue to take care of your history. You think you have lost the brightness that you once had, but I tell you, the light that I have placed within you has not disappeared. She was just being protected during a preparation season. I am breathing hope where there was weariness. I am bringing peace where there was confusion. I am awakening dreams that were hidden behind old pains. The new skin that I am forming in you is also a skin of renewal. It is the ability to look at your history and realize that I was present even in the most difficult chapters. It is to understand that the night was not the end. It was only the scenario where I prepared the birth of a new dawn within you. And as this light begins to emerge, I continue to work in deeper areas of your soul, preparing you to understand all that I am still revealing. My son, I know that many times you find it difficult to walk when you cannot see the next step. I know your heart desires reassurance, clear answers, and visible signs that everything is going in the right direction. But I tell you, true faith begins right where your vision ends. You think you need to understand everything in order to continue, but I tell you, you must trust in who knows the whole way. I see what you don't see. I know what you don't know yet. I see the curves of the road before you get to them. So, sometimes I don't reveal all the details at once, not because I'm hiding something from you, but because I'm teaching your soul to depend on my presence. You think that lack of answers means lack of care, but I tell you, often, silence is the place where the deepest trust is born. A child holds his father's hand without knowing all the places where he will go. She doesn't know every street. She doesn't understand every direction. But she trusts because she knows who is driving. My son, I am forming that same trust within you. I'm removing the need to control every detail. I'm healing the anxiety of wanting to know everything before taking the next step. I am strengthening a faith that does not depend only on what your eyes can confirm. 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, "For we walk by faith, and not by sight. This is the new skin that I am putting on you. A skin of confidence, a skin that remains firm even when circumstances seem unstable, a skin that is not built by what happens around you, but by the certainty that I am still present." You think that security is in knowing exactly what will happen tomorrow, but I tell you, true security is in knowing who will be with you tomorrow. You think you need to be in control of situations, but I tell you, there is rest when you surrender to me that which your hands have never been able to fully sustain. My son, look at a seed. It is placed on the earth without seeing the sun. She remains hidden without seeing the rain coming, but within it, there is a silent certainty that life is being formed. So is your walk with me. There are times when you won't see immediate results, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. I'm working on the roots. I'm strengthening your structure. I am preparing your soul to walk at deeper levels of trust. You think you are walking alone because you cannot see my hand, but I tell you, my hand has never ceased to lead you. I was present when you took steps in fear. I was present when you continued, even without understanding. I was there when his only choice was to trust. Faith is not denying difficulties. Faith is seeing beyond them. It is remembering that no circumstance is greater than my presence. It is to understand that your story is not being written only by what your eyes can observe. There is an invisible dimension where I go on working, And as you learn to walk by faith, I continue to reveal a new way of living, a new consciousness, and a new identity in me. If this video is providing answers you need to hear, write in the comments, "God cares for me." And prophesy this truth about your own life. My son, I know that you have lived many years being guided by thoughts that were born in moments of pain. I know that some words were engraved in his mind. I know that some experiences have made you build an image of yourself that does not correspond to what I have placed within you. But I tell you, the transformation I am accomplishing is not just a passing emotion. I am consolidating a new identity within you. You think that this change happens only in moments of strong feeling, but I tell you, I am working in deep layers of your soul. The new skin that I give you is not just for a moment. It is a new way of seeing, a new way of thinking, a new way of walking. You no longer need to go back to that which I am already healing. You do not need to put on again that which I am already removing. My son, many people are given a new opportunity, but they continue to live with the mentality of the old season. They continue to carry the same fears. They continue to believe in the same limitations. You continue to allow the past to speak louder than my voice. But I am teaching you to recognize who you have become in me. You think you need to go back to old versions of yourself because they are familiar. But I tell you, that which is known is not always that which brings life. An old outfit may be comfortable, but it doesn't match a new season. An old skin may seem safe, but it prevents the growth that I am forming. Therefore, some things need to be left behind, not because they were part of your essence, but because they were just layers that you put on to survive. I am strengthening your awareness. I'm taking root for it. I'm making you realize that you no longer have to react to life as someone hurt by the past. You can walk as someone restored by my presence. Colossians 3:10 says, "And you put on the new, which is renewed for knowledge according to the image of him who created it." I am renewing that which exists within you. I'm renewing your thoughts. I'm renewing your vision. I'm renewing the way you position yourself in the face of circumstances. You think that your identity depends on what has happened to you, but I tell you, your identity depends on what I have declared about you. Circumstances may change, people can change, the scenarios can change, but that which I establish within you remains. My son, do not allow an old voice to try to convince you that you are still that person who suffered without hope. Don't allow old wounds to define your next steps. The new skin that I am forming carries a new consciousness, a son's conscience, a conscience of someone loved, an awareness of someone who knows that he is not walking alone. I'm already strengthening that identity within you. I'm already planting new truths in your soul. I'm already creating a firmness that does not depend on applause, opinions, or circumstances. Stay with me, because this transformation is still revealing parts that you never imagined. What comes next may be the exact signal you asked for. I saved it for this moment. Stay with me. My son, I know that some losses have made you question your own worth. I know that there were times when what came out of your hands seemed to carry with it a part of your story. You looked at what was left behind and thought, maybe I'll never be the same again. But I tell you, you have not lost who I have formed within you. You think that what has gone away has taken away your identity, but I tell you, no one can touch that which I have planted in the depths of their soul. People can take away opportunities. Circumstances can change paths. Some doors may close before your eyes. But that which was born in me continues to be protected by my hands. My son, look at Job. To human eyes, his story seemed destroyed. He lost assets. He lost security. He lost what seemed to represent his stability. But I still saw something that no one could see. While everyone looked at the loss, I looked at the restoration. As everyone saw an end, I saw a new phase being prepared. Job 42:10 says, "And the Lord turned Job's captivity when he prayed for his friends, and the Lord added to Job as much double as all that he had before." You think that the loss was the closure of your story, but I tell you, it is often the place where a deeper identity begins to be born. because there are things that you lost, but that were also holding you back. There are achievements that seemed like blessings, but carried weights that your soul could no longer bear. There are relationships that seemed indispensable, but were impeding your growth. There are places where you wanted to stay, but I knew your roots needed to find another soil. I don't remove to destroy. I take it out to prepare. I don't allow some changes to hurt you. I allow it because I see beyond the present moment. You look at what came out. I look at what is being formed. You look at the branches that have been cut off. I look at the fruits that will grow after pruning. A pruned tree looks smaller for a while. It seems that it has lost its beauty. It seems that it has become limited. But pruning is not the end of the tree. Pruning prepares new growth cycles. So I am also working on you. I'm removing excesses. I'm strengthening roots. I am creating a firmer structure within your soul. You think you have become smaller because of the losses, but I tell you, you are being prepared to carry something deeper. The new skin that I am forming in you does not depend only on what I put on your hands. It depends on what I build within your heart. Because if I only gave back what you lost, but didn't transform your vision, you'd still carry the same fears. So before the restoration around, I am doing a restoration within. I am healing your perception. I am strengthening your awareness. I'm showing that your story was never defined by what came out, but by what remained. And what remained was my presence. The loss could not erase the purpose. Pain could not cancel out that which I have established. There is something going on that you have not yet understood. I continue to work on your story, even in the places where you thought nothing else could be born. My son, I know how rejection can touch deep places in your soul. I know how it hurts when you feel like you weren't chosen, when a door closes, when someone you hoped would stay decides to leave. You look back at those moments and think, why didn't they want me? What was missing in me? But I tell you, the rejection of some people has never been a measure of their worth. You think you have been left behind, but I tell you, many times I was pushing you away from places that would not be able to sustain that which I have placed within you. Not every place that closes is a loss. Not all absence is abandonment. Not every no is a denial. Some no's were protection. Some farewells were deliverances. A few closed doors were my care preventing you from remaining in environments where your identity would be diminished. My son, remember Joseph. His own brothers looked at him and could not see the purpose that existed within him. They saw only someone they wanted to push away. They saw only someone they did not understand. But I saw something different. I saw a mission. I saw a future. I saw someone who would be used to preserve lives. Genesis 50:20 says, "You meant evil against me, but God intended it for good, to do as it is this day, to keep many people alive." Joseph could have allowed rejection to define his identity. He could have lived in the pain of what his brothers did, but he found that what people had done against him was no greater than what I had prepared through him. And I want to reveal it to your heart today. You think that rejection wrote the end of your story, but I tell you, it only revealed that your fate never depended on human approval. I am healing within you the need to be accepted by all. Because when you know your identity in me, you don't have to beg for places where your soul can't flourish. The seed does not need to convince the earth that it has value. She doesn't need to scream to prove that she carries life. It simply remains because what I have put into it speaks for itself, my child. There is something within you that is yet to be revealed. Rejection tried to make you hide, tried to make you diminish your dreams. He tried to convince you that he was less important. But I am calling you to flourish. I am restoring your confidence. I am reminding your soul of a truth that came before any human opinion. You were already chosen by me. Before anyone recognized you, I already knew your name. Before anyone valued your presence, I had already put purpose into your life. Before the applause, I was already present. Before the achievements, I already loved you. The new skin that I am forming in you is the awareness that your worth is not born from people's acceptance. Your value is born of my voice, and when this truth takes root within you, No rejection can erase what I have established. There is something in your heart that you have not yet given me completely. Write in the comments what you're uploading. It could be a word, a request, a name. My son. I know the memories that you carry in silence. I know those memories that come back at unexpected times and make your heart feel, again, a pain you thought you had already overcome. I know the words that were spoken years ago, but that still echo inside your mind as if they happened today. But I tell you, the past may be part of your history, but it has no authority to govern your future. You think you need to erase everything you have lived in order to move on. But I tell you, I do not erase your history. I transform the way it influences your life. I don't take back the pages that have been written. I change their meaning. I enter the places where you have kept pain and begin to bring light. I touch memories that carry weight. I reach feelings that were hidden. I heal parts of your soul that you learned to protect because they were once wounded. My son, there are moments that you relive as if you are still trapped in them. There's a part of you that is still trying to understand why certain things happened. There's a part of you that is still looking for answers to old pains. But I did not create you to live in places that have passed. I didn't call you to live stuck in the chapter that hurt. Isaiah 43:18-19 states, "Do not remember the former things or consider the old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Observe this truth, my son. I do something new without denying what you have lived. I don't ignore your walk. I don't despise your tears. I don't diminish your battles. But I also do not allow them to be greater than what I am forming in you. You think that what happened determined what you will be. But I tell you, my grace is greater than your previous history. You think your wounds are your identity. But I tell you they are only parts of your walk, not the destination of your soul. I am reaching out to the child who suffered. I'm touching the heart that felt rejected. I am strengthening the soul that has grown tired of fighting. I'm going into places where you've put closed doors because you thought no one could understand. But I understand. I see. I know. My son, some old roots need to be treated so that new fruits can be born. A tree may look healthy on the outside, but if its roots carry problems, its fruits will also be affected. So I don't just want to improve what people can see. I want to restore the source from which your life springs. I'm healing thoughts. I am renewing your consciousness. I'm bringing a new interpretation to your own story. You are no longer that wounded version that was born in difficult times. You are someone who is being restored by my hands. The new skin that I am forming in you begins when the past ceases to be a prison and becomes a reminder that I was present, even in the places where you thought you were alone. My son, I know that waiting is not always easy for you. I know that there are times when the silence seems too long and time does not seem to pass. You look at that which you have asked for and have not yet received. You look at the promise and see no fulfillment, and then your heart begins to ask if I have forgotten you. But I tell you, waiting has never been a sign of abandonment. You think you are being hindered, but I tell you, many times you are being prepared. You think delay is a punishment, but I tell you, delay can be the place where I strengthen that which needs to remain. Because I am not just preparing that which will come to you, I am preparing you for what will come. My son, you wanted the immediate answer, but I was working on parts of your soul that needed to mature. You wanted the door open, but I was strengthening your hands to go through it. You wanted the achievement, but I was forming the disposition that will sustain that achievement. Look at David. I anointed David as king while he was still in the field tending sheep. The promise came before the throne. The floor was released before the position was occupied. Between the moment he was chosen and the moment he reigned, there was a process. There were hidden days. There were silent battles. There were times when he needed to trust me without seeing the end result. But I was forming in him something which was more important than a crown. I was forming a heart prepared to lead. Acts 13:22 says, I have found David the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, who will carry out all my will. My son, observe this. Before I hand over a position, I work on the person. Before I reveal something into your hands, I transform something within your heart. You think you've wasted time waiting, but I tell you, every season has had a purpose. Every moment that you stood firm strengthened a part of your soul. Each day that you continued to believe, even without seeing, took deeper roots. You think nothing was happening, but I tell you, I was working on the unseen. I was adjusting thoughts. I was healing intentions. I was strengthening his inner structure. A tree that grows too fast may seem big, but its roots can still be fragile. When the winds come, it doesn't stay. That is why I work on the roots before the fruits. I dig deeper before revealing. I strengthen before expanding. My son, I am not late. I didn't waste time in your story. I have not forgotten what I have put into you. What you call waiting, I call preparation. What you call delay, I call construction. What you call silence, I call a workshop where your soul is being perfected. The new skin that I am forming in you is also a skin of maturity, an identity that does not depend only on receiving, but that learns to remain. You were reached because you were chosen. Write in the comments, God has chosen me, and live that truth every day. My son, I know that many times you have looked at yourself and seen only that which needed to be corrected. You have observed your mistakes, your limitations, and your failures, and you have allowed these things to become the mirror through which you saw yourself. But I tell you, your true image has never been in your falls. Your true image has always been in my hands. You think that you are that which you have not been able to do, but I tell you, you are that which I have formed with purpose. You think your scars have diminished your value, but I tell you, they reveal places where my grace has sustained you. You think that your limitations define how far you can go, but I tell you, I know capabilities within you that have not yet been revealed. My son, for a long time you have seen yourself through the lens of pain. You looked at a rejection and concluded that it wasn't enough. You looked at a mistake and concluded that you were incapable. You looked at a difficult phase and concluded that your story would be forever marked by that moment. But I have never looked at you in this way. Before anyone formed an opinion about you, I had already placed dignity within your existence. Before any human words attempted to define his worth, I had already declared purpose about his life. Genesis 1:27 says, "And God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him." My son, understand this truth. Your identity was not born of circumstance. She was not born from the praise she received. It was not born from the criticism it heard. It was not born of achievements or failures. She was born in me. I am restoring the image you have lost of yourself. I'm removing old thoughts that made you believe you were too small. I am healing the distorted vision that was born when you came to see your weaknesses more than my presence in your life. You think you need to become perfect in order to be loved by me, but I tell you, my love is the place where your transformation begins. You don't change to be loved. You are loved, and so you are being transformed, my child. The new skin that I am forming in you is a new consciousness. It's a new way of looking at your own history. It is to understand that you are not a set of accumulated mistakes. You are a work that is still being revealed. A seed does not look like a tree while it is hidden in the earth, but within, it already exists what it was created to become. So are you. I see what's still hidden. I see the strength that is growing. I see the maturity that was born from the processes. I see the faith that has been strengthened in the difficult nights. No longer allow old voices to define your identity. No longer allow the past to be the mirror through which you look to the future. I am restoring your perception. I'm reminding your soul of who you are. You belong to me. You bear my mark. You are a work of my hands. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer for a long time, and this message has been chosen by me to reveal something profound to you. Stay. My son, I know there are times when you look at your walk and you feel as if you are crossing an empty place. You look around and you don't find what you expected to find. You look for signs of change, you look for answers, you look for a way out, but it seems that you are only facing a great expanse of silence. But I tell you, the desert is not the place where everything died. Often, the desert is the place where I withdraw that which distracted your soul, to reveal that which truly sustains you. You think you are going through a phase without purpose, but I tell you, there is a preparation going on in the places where no one can see. The desert reveals. It shows what was hidden. It removes excesses. It separates that which is superficial from that which has deep roots. My son, I know you have asked to get out of some difficult situations quickly. I know you wished certain seasons would end prematurely. But I also know that which you have not yet realized. There are places that were not sent to destroy you. There are places that have been used to strengthen you. Moses found his calling in the wilderness. That place that seemed far away became the place where I prepared your heart for a great mission. Elijah heard my voice in the silence. Jesus overcame temptation in the wilderness before he began his ministry. The wilderness was not an absence from my presence. It was a deeper encounter with her. Deuteronomy 8:2 says, "And you shall remember all the way by which the Lord your God led you in the wilderness these 40 years. My son, notice this truth. I have not only accompanied the people in the wilderness, I guided every step. I also do so with you. You think you are walking alone, but I tell you, every difficult step was being observed by me. Every tear was before my eyes. Every moment of weakness was known by my hands. You think you lost things in the wilderness, but I tell you, some things needed to be taken away in order for you to discover that my presence has always been sufficient. Because when everything around you slows down, you begin to realize that which can never be lost. I am teaching your soul to depend less on circumstances and more on me. I am strengthening a faith that is not born only when everything is well. I'm building a trust that endures even when the road seems difficult. My son, the desert does not define your destiny. It reveals its depth. A tree that never faces winds does not develop strong roots. But the one who stands firm during storms learns to go deeper. I'm deepening its roots. I am strengthening your inner structure. I am transforming places that you have called abandonment into places where my voice becomes clearer. The new skin that I am forming in you is also born in the desert, because it is there that you discover that your identity does not depend on what you have lost, or what is around you. It depends on who I am to you. This message has reached you, and it can reach other children of mine. By subscribing to this channel and liking this video, you help my word reach more hearts. My son, I know there are times when you look at your own limitations and feel that you don't have enough strength to go on. I know that there are days when fatigue speaks louder, when your emotions seem to weigh you down, and when you wonder if you can get through another stage. But I tell you, your weakness does not hinder my action. You think you need to be strong all the time so that I can work through you. But I tell you, it is precisely when you recognize your dependence on me that my strength begins to be revealed in a deeper way. You look at your hands and see limits. I look at your life and see possibilities. You look at your flaws and think they defeat your purpose. I look into your heart and see a work that is still being formed. My son, I never expected that you would walk alone. I have never asked you to carry all the weights without my help. I never said that you would need to win every battle with your own ability alone. I am the source of your strength. I am the one who sustains you when your own strength seems to fade. Look at Paul. He discovered a truth that changed the way he looked at his struggles. He realized that the power was not in appearing invincible, but in staying connected to me. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, "My grace is sufficient for you because my power is made perfect in weakness." My son, notice this revelation. I don't expect you to be perfect to start working on your life. I work while you grow up. I transform as you walk. I strengthen you as you learn. You think you need to arrive ready to receive my presence. But I tell you, my presence is precisely what prepares you. The new skin that I am forming in you is not a skin without marks. It is not a life without challenges. It is not a walk where there are never tears. The new skin is an identity strengthened by my presence. It's knowing that even when you feel small, there's something bigger being formed within you. It is to understand that your ability is not the limit of what I can do. My son, a young tree doesn't have to look like an old tree to grow. It just needs to stay connected to the root that feeds your life. So are you. Don't compare your process to other people's. Don't despise growth that happens in silence. Do not ignore the small signs of transformation within your soul. I'm already strengthening areas that you thought would never change. I am already renewing thoughts that for a long time have been dominated by fear. I'm already putting firmness where there was insecurity before. You think your weakness is the end of your walk, but I tell you, it may be the place where my strength will be most evident. Because when you understand that you don't depend only on yourself, you discover a source of strength that does not come from circumstances. It comes from my presence. And as you learn to trust in this truth, I continue to form in you a new identity, a new consciousness, and a new way of walking with me. My son, I know that you often look at your life looking for great signs of change. You expect something visible, something that immediately proves that a new phase has begun. But I tell you, not everything I do starts with big moves. Many of my greatest works begin in small details. You think that nothing has begun because you have not yet seen fruit. But I tell you, there are seeds growing before the harvest appears. You seek great answers, but I am working on small transformations within you. A new way of thinking, a peace that did not exist before, a strength that emerged in moments where you thought you couldn't continue, a different desire inside your heart. These are all signs that something new is already happening. My son, you don't notice a tree growing every day, but that doesn't mean it's standing still. There's a silent process going on. The roots are deepening, the branches are getting stronger. Life is forming before your eyes can contemplate. So I am also working on you. You think that change only happens when everything around you is transformed, but I tell you, true transformation begins within. Before changing environments, I change perceptions. Before I open paths, I strengthen hearts. Before I reveal fruits, I take care of the roots. Mark 4:27 says, "And he should sleep and rise by night or by day, and the seed should sprout and grow, and he did not know how." My son, there is a mystery in growing up. The seed does not explain how it grows. It makes no noise as it breaks through the earth. It does not announce every stage of its development. But she is alive, and that which is alive in me continues to grow. You think your process is too slow, but I tell you, I know the perfect rhythm for every part of your life. You think you should be somewhere else, but I tell you, I am working right where you are. I'm not late. I'm not far away. I'm not ignoring your prayers. I'm taking care of details that your eyes can't keep up with yet. My son, some changes that you have been waiting for years began first within your soul. Maybe you still face challenges, but now there's a difference. Before, you faced it alone. You now carry a new awareness of my presence. Before, you were dominated by fear. Now there is a growing faith. Before, you only saw the problem. Now you begin to realize that I am present in the process. This new skin that I am forming in you does not only appear in the great achievements. It appears when you react differently, when he chooses to forgive, when he decides to continue, when he finds peace even without all the answers. These small signs reveal that the seed is already alive. I am opening your eyes to perceive that which was born in the invisible. Don't despise small beginnings. Don't ignore the small changes, because often that which seems small to human eyes is exactly the beginning of something that I am forming in depth. Few get to this point in the message, my son, but you arrived, and that's no accident. What follows was reserved for those who persevered. My son, I know that many times you look at the visible areas of your life and you want an immediate change. You look at what's broken around you and think that the solution lies only in fixing what appears to your eyes. But I tell you, true restoration begins in the depths. You think you only need new circumstances, But I tell you, before changing that which is without, I am strengthening that which is within. Because a life sustained only by appearance does not stand in the face of storms. A house may be beautiful on the outside, but if its structure is weak, any strong wind can reveal its weaknesses. That is why I am working on the roots. I am touching deep places of your soul. I'm strengthening fundamentals that no one can see. My son, you have often asked me to change situations, but I have begun by transforming the way you see. You have asked me to open doors, but I have prepared your heart to go through them. You have asked me to remove obstacles, but I also strengthen you to stand firm after conquest. Because I don't want to just hand something into your hands, I want to form something inside of you. Matthew 7:24 says, "Whosoever therefore heareth these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him unto a wise man, who built his house upon the rock mass." My son, a house built on rock does not mean a house without storms. It means a house that remains when the storms come. And this is the new skin that I am forming in you. It is not a life where there are never difficulties. It is a life with roots deep enough not to be destroyed by hardship. You think the strength is in never falling. But I tell you, the true strength is in staying connected to me, even when you face difficult days. I am strengthening your faith. I'm firming up your trust. I am creating stability within your soul. Maybe you don't see everything changing around you yet, but I'm already working on the base. A tree does not begin with the fruits. It starts with the hidden roots. Before the branches spread, there is a process going on underground. Before the shadow is seen, there is a quiet preparation. So it is with you. You think you are standing still because no one sees what is happening, but I tell you, the invisible is also real. There are changes happening within you. There are thoughts being renewed. There are fears losing strength. There are parts of your identity being restored. I am rebuilding your life from the deepest roots. Not just what people can observe, but that which sustains all that you will be. My son, do not be in a hurry with what I am building. That which grows with deep roots stays much longer. I'm preparing a structure that doesn't depend only on good times. I am forming in you a steadfastness that is born of my presence. And as I strengthen your roots, I continue to reveal a new stage of the transformation that has already begun within you. My son, I want you to understand something profound tonight. The transformation I am bringing about in you is not the creation of someone alien to what I have planned from the beginning. You think that I am creating a completely different person, but I tell you, I am revealing that which has always been within the purpose that I have placed in you. There is an essence that I have planted in your soul. There is an identity that was not born of circumstances. There is a truth about you that has not been destroyed by pain, loss, or difficult times. The new skin is not a mask. It is not an attempt to look like someone you are not. It is the restoration of one's true identity that has been covered by layers of fear, insecurity, and suffering. You think you need to transform yourself into someone else to be accepted by me, but I tell you, I am removing that which hides who you have always been in me. My son, for a long time, you have tried to survive by using versions of yourself that were created out of necessity. You've learned to hide feelings. You have learned to protect your heart. You have learned to carry weights that were not meant to stay on you. But I know what lies behind these layers. I know your essence before the wounds. I know your heart before disappointments. I know the purpose before the obstacles appear. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the thoughts I think of you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you the end you are waiting for." My son, I never looked at you just for the chapter you were in. I always saw the whole story. You've seen failures. I saw lawsuits. You've seen delays. I saw preparation. You saw broken parts. I saw places where my restoration could touch. The new skin that I am forming in you is the return to the path for which I formed you. It is a renewed awareness. It's a cleaner view of who you are. It is a soul that no longer needs to be governed by the voices of the past. You think you have lost who you were, but I tell you, some things needed to fall away so that what was true could appear. Just as a statue is revealed when the excess stone is removed, I am working on you. I'm peeling away layers that don't belong to your identity. I'm removing thoughts that diminished your vision. I'm healing feelings that made you forget your worth. My son, the seed, has never failed to carry the tree within it. Even when she was hidden in the earth, life was still present. So are you. Even when it went through stations of silence, I kept working. Even when no one noticed changes, I kept forming something new. You are not defined by what you have lost. You are not defined by what they said. You are not defined by the most difficult moment of your journey. You are defined by the purpose that I have placed within you. The new skin is revealing that which has always been kept in me. And as this identity grows stronger, I continue to prepare your heart to comprehend even deeper levels of what I am doing in your life. If this message is confirming what you already felt in your heart, write in the comments, I trust in God's action. My son, I know that silence has been one of the most difficult parts of your journey. I know there were times when you looked around and found no answers. You waited for signs, you waited for change, you waited for a confirmation that I was still taking care of your story. But I tell you, silence has never meant absence. You think I was far away, but I tell you, I was closer than you imagine. While you saw no movement, I was working. While you did not perceive changes, I was preparing paths. While you were asking why nothing happened, I was arranging details that your eyes could not yet reach. My son, you look at time through your limited perspective, but I see the whole story. You see a moment. I see a process. You see a wait. I see a preparation. You see a closed door. I see protection and direction. Because there are doors that you wanted to walk through, but I knew that they would not support that which I am forming in you. You think you missed opportunities, but I tell you, some opportunities had to pass so that you didn't enter places that didn't match the new identity I'm building. There is a difference between being still and being prepared. The seed under the ground seems motionless to those who observe only the surface, but inside it there is a silent transformation. There is life being formed. There is a structure being created. There is a future being prepared. So it was with you. My son, you weren't forgotten. You were being strengthened. I was touching wounds that no one knew about. I was restoring thoughts that were weakened by pain. I was removing weights that you had been carrying for so long that you began to believe they were part of who you were. But I knew that they did not belong to his true identity. Habakkuk 2:3 says, For the vision is yet to be fulfilled at the appointed time. But he hastens to the end, and he will not deceive. If it tarries, wait for it will surely come, it will not tarry, my son. I have never lost track of time. I never lost control of his story. I never left a forgotten promise somewhere far away. You think that delay means that something has gone wrong, but I tell you, often delay reveals that I am building something deeper. Because I don't just prepare what you get, I prepare you to receive. I don't want to just get your hands on something new. I want to put something new inside your heart. The wait was a spiritual workshop. It was the place where his faith ceased to depend only on what his eyes confirmed. It was the place where you learned to trust even without understanding. It was the place where his soul discovered that my presence is worth more than any immediate response. My son, some things had to be born first within you before they appeared around you. The new skin that I am giving away did not begin when circumstances changed. It started in secret. It started when I touched your consciousness. It started when I strengthened your roots. It began when I transformed your way of looking at your own history. Before changing your reality, I changed your root. And now I continue to reveal that which was being prepared in the silence. My son, I know there are times when you look back and try to understand why some things happened the way they did. I know there are chapters in your story that still seem difficult to explain. You look at certain pages and ask, why did I allow this? Why did I have to go down this path? But I tell you, you're looking at isolated parts. while I know the whole book. You see a loss. I see a preparation. You see a closed door. I see a direction. You see a tear. I see a seed being watered deep in your soul. My son, nothing you have experienced has been invisible to my eyes. I know every detail of your journey. I know the moments that you understood and also those that you could not understand. But there is something you need to remember. The fact that you do not understand a process does not mean that it has no purpose. Romans 8:28 states, "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called by his purpose." I didn't promise that all paths would be easy. I didn't say you'd never face hard days. But I promised that nothing would be wasted when it was in my hands. You think that some experiences have only hurt you, but I tell you, I am transforming even that which tried to hurt you into growth, maturity, and depth. You think that that difficult phase only took something away from you, but I tell you, it also revealed strengths that you didn't yet know you possessed. My son, look at the silver. It passes through the fire, not because it has lost value, but because there is something precious within it that needs to be revealed. Look at the gold. It is worked so that its purity appears. So it is with you. There are processes that did not come to destroy his identity. They came to remove that which prevented their true identity from appearing. You wanted to get out of the furnace quickly. You wanted the process to end before you understood why. But I was using that moment to touch deep areas that might never be reached in times of ease. I was strengthening his faith. I was adjusting his vision. I was teaching his soul to stand firm. Because a faith that never faces challenges remains superficial. But a faith that goes through processes discovers a strength that does not depend on circumstances. My son, you think that the fire came to consume you, but I tell you, the fire was removing that which did not need to remain. You think the waiting was a prison, but I tell you she was preparing your inner freedom. You think that pain has written its history, but I tell you it has only participated in a chapter that I am still transforming. The pain was not his identity. The process was not his arrest. The wait was not his destiny. Everything was cooperating to form a deeper version of you. I am revealing what was hidden. I'm showing that some battles have taken root. Some tears produced growth. A few moments of silence produced a confidence that no facility could create. And as you begin to see with new eyes, I continue to reveal the hidden purposes behind the processes that you once couldn't understand. My son, I know there are times when you look at your life and feel like you need to start all over again. You look at what was broken, at what didn't turn out as you expected, at paths that seemed interrupted, and you think that all the effort was lost. But I tell you, you are not going back to the starting point. I have never abandoned the work I have begun in you. You think you need to rebuild everything from scratch. But I tell you, I continue to work from everything you have experienced. Nothing that happened was ignored. Nothing you learned was wasted. Nothing you have faced has become meaningless before me. My son, I am a restoration specialist. I don't just work with perfect stories. I work with marked stories. I work with tired lives. I work with hearts that have come to me carrying wounds, doubts, and unanswered questions. I do not need a life without marks to do my work. I turn brands into testimonials. I turn falls into learning. I transform difficult moments into places where my presence is revealed. Philippians 1:6 says, "Being certain of this very thing, that he who began a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ." My son, I started something in you before you even knew it, before your conquests, before their recognitions, before the changes that your eyes can see. I was already working. Each learning was part of the construction. Each silent battle strengthened a part of his soul. Every moment you chose to continue, even without understanding, revealed a faith that was growing. You think you are starting again, but I tell you, you are continuing from a deeper place, because now you carry experiences that you didn't have before. Now you know my faithfulness in a way that only those who go through processes can know. Now you know that some closed doors can also be taken care of. Now you know that some silences can also carry purpose. Now you know that not everything that looks like loss means destruction, my son. A tree that goes through difficult seasons does not become a small seed again. It continues to grow with the marks of the seasons it has faced. It carries more strength. It carries deeper roots. It remains more prepared to withstand new winds. So, it is with you. You are not the same person you were before the battles. You are not the same person who started this journey. I am forming maturity within you. I am strengthening your awareness. I'm revealing an identity that doesn't just depend on easy moments. The new skin that I am putting on you is not born of a scar-free life. It is born of a life that has discovered that I remain in all phases. I stay when you understand. I stay when you expect it. I stay when you cross places that seem too difficult. Because my work does not depend on the perfection of the way, it depends on my faithfulness. You don't have to go back trying to get back who you were. I am revealing who you are becoming in me. And as this transformation continues, I want to show you something even deeper about what I have already begun within your life. In the next few minutes, my son, I will show you something that can be a direct sign from me for your life. Don't leave now, my son. I know that there are parts of your story that have made you feel that you have lost something within yourself. I know that some pains have not only led to external situations, but have also touched your joy, your hope, and your ability to imagine a new beginning. You look back and think that some parts of you are behind you, but I tell you that which pain has tried to erase, I am restoring within you. You think you'd never smile the same way again. I tell you, I am bringing life to places of your soul that seemed dormant. You think that some dreams have died along the way. I tell you, I know seeds that are still alive under the earth. My son, pain tried to convince you that it was too late. Fear tried to convince you that there was no longer a way. Circumstances tried to make you believe that your best phase had passed, but I remain the God of restoration. I continue to be the one who touches places where no one else can reach. I continue to be the one who transforms stories when everyone believes that there is no longer a solution. Joel 2:25 says, "And I will restore to you the years that were consumed by the locust." My son, notice this promise. I am not limited by time. That which seems lost to you is still within the reach of my hands. I'm not just restoring things that can be seen. I am restoring deep parts of your soul. I am restoring your confidence. I am restoring your hope. I am restoring the ability to dream again. I am awakening desires that were hidden after so many battles. Because some pains don't just hurt. They try to convince you to lower your vision. They try to make you believe that the future will just be a repeat of the past. But I tell you, your story is not tied to what happened. You think that some chapters are over forever, but I tell you, I write new chapters where many believe that there is only one end point. I am able to give birth to something new in places that seemed closed. A tree during winter looks lifeless. Its branches look dry. Its leaves disappear. But within it there is a silent force waiting for the right season to reveal itself. So are you. Perhaps some areas of your life have gone through a winter. Maybe you felt like you lost your shine. Perhaps he thought he would never find the same strength again. But I was preserving seeds within you. I was protecting that which would still flourish. The new skin that I am forming in you carries a new expectation. You no longer look back only with sadness. You begin to look with understanding. You begin to realize that I was present in the moments that you thought were just losses. I was supporting you when you thought you couldn't keep going. I was guarding her faith when she seemed small. I was preparing a new vision so that you would not only receive restoration, but also acknowledge my presence every step of the way. And as I return that which pain has tried to steal, I continue to reveal that no tears have been forgotten, and no part of your history has been left out of my care. My son, I know that many times you wish to see that which I have promised manifest quickly. I know that your heart longs for answers, for change, and for new paths, but I want to reveal something deeper to you. Before I put something new into your hands, I work to strengthen that which exists within you. You think that the greatest blessing is to receive something new, But I tell you, the greatest preparation is to become someone capable of carrying that which I entrust to you. Because a blessing without transformation can become a burden. An achievement without maturity can become a distraction. An open door without deep roots can make you lose what you have received. So I wasn't just preparing a change around you, I was preparing you. My son, many people desire the palace, but forget the path that prepares one to remain in it. Jose received dreams of grandeur, but before the government there was prison. Before honor there was rejection. Before the position there was a process where his faith and character were strengthened. You think prison was a delay for Joseph, but I tell you, it was a preparation room. You think the wilderness was only a place of trouble for Moses. But I tell you, it was the place where your dependence on me would be formed. You think some stations were a waste of time, but I tell you, every one of them was building something that could not be born in any other way. Luke 16:10 says, "He who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much." My son, I observe what happens when no one is watching. I see his faithfulness in the small details. I see your choices silent. I see when you stand firm even without recognition. I see when you keep walking, even without applause. It is in these hidden places that I form that which sustains great responsibilities. I'm forming loyalty, I'm building character, I'm putting down roots. For that which grows only in appearance may impress, for a moment, but that which is born of a profound transformation remains through the seasons. You think the process was about receiving something, but I tell you the process was about becoming somebody. Someone more aware, someone firmer, someone more prepared to live what I am revealing. My son, a tree that receives many fruits, must first have strong roots. If the fruits arrive before the structure, the branches may not support the weight. That is why I take care of the roots. Before I reveal the fruits, I strengthen before expanding, I prepare before delivering, I mature before positioning. The new skin that I am forming in you carries a new capacity. You will not be guided only by the desire to receive. You will be guided by the consciousness of sustaining. You will not only look at what arrives, you will understand the purpose behind that which I entrust, because there is a phase in which your identity will need to be greater than your circumstances. And I am working out just that within you. My son, I know there are times when you look at your walk and you can't understand how some things connect. You look at isolated situations, at decisions that seemed meaningless, and at paths that brought pain, and try to find an explanation with the limited view of the moment. But I tell you, that which seems confusing to you has never been confusing to me. You think that change happens when everything becomes clear, but I tell you, often clarity comes after your faith learns to abide. Before I reveal the meaning of some things, I strengthen your ability to trust me. Before showing you the destination, I teach you to walk by faith. Before I reveal the answer, I prepare your soul to understand that which will be shown. My son, I am opening your eyes to a deeper reality. I'm broadening your perception. I'm showing connections that once seemed impossible. I'm revealing hidden meanings in experiences that you thought had no purpose. You looked at some pages of your story and asked why they needed to exist. But I know the whole book. You've only seen one chapter. I already knew the ending. You saw a door closing. I saw a direction being adjusted. You saw a loss. I saw a preparation. You saw an outage. I saw a path being redirected. My son, remember Joseph. For many years he did not understand the path he was taking. He was rejected. He was sold. He was taken to a place he didn't choose. To human eyes it seemed that other people had control over his story. But when the moment of revelation came, he saw something he couldn't see before. Genesis 45:8 says, "So it was not you who sent me here, but God." Joseph understood that the human hand was no greater than my hand. He realized that what seemed like a defeat was within a greater purpose, and I want to reveal it to your heart also. You think that some people have had the ultimate power over your life, but I tell you, no one can cancel that which I have established. You think that some circumstances have determined your fate, but I tell you, my presence has always been above all of them. I was leading to what seemed disorganized. I was bringing purpose to what seemed meaningless. I was even using the paths you wouldn't choose to form something inside you. My son, revelation comes when your soul is ready to see. Because sometimes the answer is already in front of your eyes. But you still need a new perception to recognize it. The new skin that I am forming on you is also a new way of interpreting life. You will no longer just look at what happened. You will begin to realize what I was doing through that. You will not be arrested just by the appearance of events. You will begin to see my hand working in the details. I am already awakening this vision within you. I'm already bringing light to areas that previously looked dark. I am already revealing meanings that were hidden by time. At the end of this message, you will feel my presence in a way that you may never have felt before. Stay with me until the end. My son, I know that for a long time you have learned to live in a state of alertness. You have learned to expect difficulties. He learned to protect himself even before he was injured. He learned to carry weights because he believed he needed to be strong all the time. But I tell you, you weren't born just to survive. You think that your life was created only to face one battle after another. But I tell you, I formed you to live fully into my presence. I didn't call you to walk like someone who was always trying to escape the next storm. I am teaching you to walk like a child who knows that there is care, direction, and love accompanying your steps. My son, I know how many times you have felt that you needed to earn the right to be loved. You tried to prove your worth. You tried to show that you were enough. You tried to carry responsibilities so that no one would notice your insecurities. But I come to reveal a truth that changes everything. You don't have to earn my love. You are already loved, before his achievements, before your hits, before people recognize their value. I already knew you. I already took care of you. I had already put purpose into his existence. Galatians 4:7 says, "So you are no longer a servant but a son, and if you are a son, you are also an heir of God through Christ." My son, there is a difference between living as someone who is just trying to survive and living as someone who knows his identity. The survivor looks at each situation thinking, "How am I going to get through this?" The son looks at the same situation knowing, "My Father is with me." The new skin that I am forming in you is the identity of a child. It is a renewed awareness. It is understanding that you do not walk alone. It is knowing that even when there are challenges, my presence remains. You think you need to control everything to be safe, but I tell you, true security is born when you trust in the one who holds your life. You think you need to have all the answers before you can continue, but I tell you, a child does not need to know all the details when he knows the Father who leads him. My child, I am removing from you the mentality of scarcity, fear, and abandonment. I'm healing the vision of someone who always expects to lose. I'm strengthening the conscience of someone who knows they belong. Because when you understand that you are a child, you stop begging for places where you are not valued. You stop chasing approval as if it will define your value. You begin to walk with dignity. You begin to live with peace. I am restoring that truth within you. You're not just someone who weathered the storms. You are someone who has been sustained by me during them. Every battle you faced did not erase your identity. Each difficulty did not diminish its value. Each difficult night has not changed the way I see you. I keep calling you, son. I continue to take care of your story. I continue to form a new consciousness within your soul. The new skin that I give you is not an armor to hide your weaknesses. It's an identity to remember who you are when circumstances try to make you forget. If this video came at the right time for you, write in the comments, "I believe, Lord," and declare that you're ready for this new phase. My son, I know there are times when the weight of walking seems too great. I know there are days when your soul wonders if it's worth continuing. I know that quiet place where you almost gave up, where you thought about stopping because you couldn't see a way out anymore. But I tell you, don't stop now. You think you have come to an end because you are tired, but I tell you, you are often closer to revelation, just when you feel that you cannot go on. There is something going on that your eyes have not yet reached. You went through nights that seemed endless. You endured moments that you believed you could not bear. You carried tears that no one saw, but I was present in every moment. I was strengthening you when you thought you were just surviving. I was preparing your soul while you thought you were just waiting. My son, the story you wanted to hide is exactly the story I am turning into a testimony. You think your marks diminish you, but I tell you, they reveal places where my grace has sustained you. You think the tears were just pain, but I tell you a few tears have watered seeds that will still bloom. Nothing that has passed through my hands remains purposeless. I didn't allow you to go through all of this only to get tired to the end. There is something that was born within you during this path. There is a depth that did not exist before. There is a maturity that could only be born through the processes you faced. Psalm 66:16 says, "Come hear all you who fear God, and I will tell you what he has done to my soul." My son, a testimony is not born only from easy moments. A testimony is born when someone goes through a storm and discovers that my presence was greater than the wind. It is born when someone looks back and realizes, I didn't get here alone. I'm transforming your story. That which once caused tears will now carry meaning. That which seemed like an open wound will be a reminder of the healing that I have accomplished. What seemed like a definitive loss will reveal a lesson that has strengthened your soul. You think that everything you have lived through was to destroy you, but I tell you, some battles were the place where your faith took root. My son, I see you are tired. I see that the wait has been long. I see that you have asked many times when the time for change would come. But I tell you, the deepest waiting often precedes the most powerful revelation. Before dawn, the night seems darker. Before birth, there is a hidden process. Before the fruit appears, there is a root working in silence. Do not confuse silence with abandonment. Do not confuse the process with the absence of my hand. I am leading you to a place where what you have experienced will have a new meaning. The new skin that I am forming on you carries a message. It reveals that you weren't defined by what tried to break you. You were formed by my presence that sustained you. And now, as you approach a new stage, I want your soul to understand something even deeper about what is being revealed through your history. My son, you think that your story is defined by the moments in which you fell, but I tell you, I do not look at you through your falls. I look at you through the purpose I have placed within you. You are not the end product of your mistakes. You are not the result of the words that hurt your heart. You are not what they tried to make you believe you were. You belong to me. I know you by name, not by your flaws. I see your essence, not just your moments of weakness. I know your intentions, your silent struggles, and the places in your soul that no one else can reach. My son, before anyone pointed out your shortcomings, I already knew your worth. Before anyone judged his story, I had already written purpose about his life. Before you understood who it was, I already knew who I had formed. You think you need to go back in time to correct everything, but I tell you, I am able to restore that which seemed lost and transform your walk into a proof of my faithfulness. The new skin that I am forming on you is not an attempt to hide your past. It is a revelation that your past no longer has the authority to define your future. You carry a new consciousness. You carry a new vision. You carry an identity that was not born of circumstances, but of what I have declared about you. Jeremiah 31:3 says, "With everlasting love have I loved you. Also with kindness I draw you. My son, my love for you didn't start when you got it right. It didn't increase when you won, and it didn't slow down when you failed. My love endures because it was born in me." You think you need to prove that you deserve to be loved, but I tell you, the love that comes from me is not earned by performance. He is received by faith. I am removing from your soul the identity created by guilt. I'm removing the names that pain has tried to put on you. The name of failure, the name of forgotten, the name of someone who will never be able to change. These names did not come from me. I call you son. I call you the chosen one. I call you one who bears my image. Genesis 1:27 states, "And God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him." My son, there is an image within you that difficulties have tried to cover, but have never been able to erase. As a precious stone hidden in the dust continues to have value. What I have placed in you continues to exist, even after the difficult seasons. I am clearing your vision so that you see what I have always seen. I'm restoring your identity so that you stop living as someone trying to deserve a place and start living as someone who knows you belong. The new skin reveals that you are not defined by what you have lost. You are revealed by that which I have formed within you. And now, as this identity is strengthened in your soul, I am bringing you to understand the last layer of this transformation. That which was born in the invisible is beginning to reveal its true strength. My son, I want to end this message by reminding you of a truth that needs to remain in your soul. You did not come this far by chance. I saw every moment when you thought about giving up, and I was sustaining your walk when your own strength seemed to run out. I thank you for staying with me until the end of this message. I know your heart, and I know that many times you have thought about stopping before you get here, but I sustained you because there was a word that your soul needed to hear. There is a spiritual blessing for those who endure to the end. I honor the sincere search of those who remain with me, even in the midst of difficulties. Your perseverance has shown that there is within you a faith that is still growing, a hope that has not been extinguished, and a confidence that is being strengthened. My child, remember, the new skin I am forming on you is not just a change of circumstances. It is a profound transformation of what you believe about yourself, about your history, and about my care. I've touched places in your soul that no one could reach. I've already started invisible processes that your eyes can't yet measure. I have already brought healing to old thoughts, restoration to painful memories, and strength to keep walking. You are no longer the person defined by the pain you faced. You are no longer the one who lives stuck in the past. You are someone who has been sustained by my hands and prepared for a new consciousness. My son, if this message spoke to your heart, write in the comments, "I watched until the end," and also put the city where you are. Let this statement be a testimony that you have remained until you receive this word. Like this message, share it with someone who needs to remember that they have not been abandoned, and subscribe to this channel to continue receiving words that strengthen your faith. When you spread a message of hope, you become a small light, reaching another heart that may be in need of direction. I bless your steps. I bless your home. I bless your mind and your walk. Keep trusting in me, because that which I have started within you will not be stopped. Allow my presence to continue to guide your thoughts, your choices, and your journey. Allow God to continue speaking to your heart. Take the next step in this journey by watching the next video that will appear here on the screen. In it, we will continue to learn how to live in God's presence and experience the fullness of His plans. Don't stop here, because God still has much more to speak to you. Always remember, God is greater, and His presence is our strength. Trust Him, and He will do infinitely more than you can imagine. May God bless your life, and see you in the next video.